Now, climate change is the phase on everyone's lips this week, but how can you make sure that your money is environmentally friendly and not harming the planet?
Well, financial advisor Paul Merriman of Ask Paul is here to explain. But first, he's going to fill us in on the other money news that you need to know today. Good morning, Paul.
Morning,
Good to see
Paul.
you.
Good morning, guys.
How are you?
And this other money news that we need to know refers to our property tax.
Yes, the property
What's
tax.
the latest?
Basically, the deadline has been extended. It's supposed to be done by today. Revenue, I think, received 80,000 phone calls over the last couple of days.
My goodness.
So it's extended this out to Wednesday, so you have until Wednesday. Okay. But what I would say to anybody is try and get it done today. Don't leave it till 4 o'clock on Wednesday.
And it's not an arduous process.
It's
Just
not
talk
as
us through
difficult as
the
people
process,
may think it is. I think the problem here, guys, is that you're looking for PAYE workers to maybe submit a return to revenue for the first time ever. You know, so it's automatically going to get people fearful. Am I going to put my property tax in right? The value of the property, is it going to be right? Where do I go? Best thing people can do here is go to the property price register, get the house in your area, house similar to yours, and put it in. But revenue, when you go on, will already have a band that they think your property is within price range.
It's all colour coded.
It's all colour coded. It
Yeah.
actually is fairly straightforward.
It is, yeah.
And you can elect to pay it down in 2022. You can pay it now if you want by direct debit. You can go to the post office and pay it if you want as well, or else you can elect to start paying it next year through your wages, direct debit, annually again. So
Well,
it is
Paul,
quite easy.
I was one of those 80,000 people that called them during the week.
Right.
And as much as it is easy to navigate, which I appreciate you saying, it's actually been lovely to be able to talk to someone and they've talked me through it. Not encouraging everyone to get on the phone, but I did. And just in terms of that, it put my mind at ease. But obviously what I also noticed is that the prices have increased. And it was great for some people to tell me why and what's happened.
Yeah.
So what can people expect there?
Well, the bands have increased. So, for argument's sake, one of the bands is 262,000 up to 350,000. So you don't have to be exactly accurate down to the euro in relation to what the value of your property is. And I think that's what people don't realise. And most people that I've found that have gone onto the site have actually found it quite easy to use and be able to guess within a good enough range of what the property's worth. But I think it's more the fear of having to go on and what happens if I make a mistake.
That's
I
where
think
I
that's
was,
more than
I
anything.
think.
I think
It's
that's
nervous.
what's really been on people's minds. Yeah.
Just when you hear the word revenue, you just go, oh.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone does that straight away, you know.
It does,
but, it is important to get it done ASAP, in my opinion. You know,
Right.
don't wait till the last minute.
Well, listen, Lisa mentioned in the intro there, Paul, climate change is the...
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
well, especially
on
this
everyone's
week.
lips,
Yeah.
yeah. So we wanted to talk today, you did, about ethical investments. I have to be honest with you, I never heard of these.
Yeah, this is
Tell me
really,
about
really
ethical
important
investments.
because,
I don't think about this
a lot of people out there, a lot of companies out there, investment managers starting to talk about the green way of doing things. Obviously, it sounds great to be green, but there's very, very few funds that are actually proper, what you'd call ESG. So ESG stands for environmental, social and governance. So for argument's sake, for the environment, you're looking at companies that are looking at towards climate change, obviously. You're looking at social, people that will be having human rights, child labour, making sure they're being excluded, etc. And then when you're looking at governance, you're looking at how diverse the board is, there are females on the board, etc., and how the board is made up. And this has all become a big topic over the last number of years.
However, and rightly so.
Yeah, and rightly so, yeah. However, there's 3 articles. So when it comes to investing, everything gets very complicated for the average person to know what they're doing, and you're going to see a lot of misinformation out there. So what I want to kind of highlight today is there's 3 main articles that you can actually invest in what's called an ESG fund. Article 6, Article 8 and Article 9. And you really only want an Article 9. And Article 9 is literally a fund where a company is going to go out and look at ways of saving the planet and making sure climate change is there and sustainability. And they're really, really, really green funds.
Okay.
Article 6 and Article 8 are kind of a bit wishy-washy. So if you're looking
Article
for...
9 is the one.
Article 9, but there's only 2 funds. I'd like to say the Ask Paul Investment Club that we have, we speak about this all the time when I'm on the couch. The Ask Paul Investment Club has opened up to a new fund with Standard Life. It's been around for 3 years. It's new to us to invest for our clients in that way. But we're delighted because there's only one of a very limited number of funds in the Irish marketplace. But the performance has been over 50% since May 2018. It's been phenomenal. And I just think this is really going to be the way in the future where people are going to start really making a right decision with their money.
Well, obviously people are nervous, and especially when you say investment, people think, oh God, what do I invest it in? Because I wouldn't have a clue. But is something like environmental climate change and investments such as this, is this ironclad?
Well, yeah, look, like any investment's going to go up and down in value, but I think the whole idea when you look at these investments and when you're looking at funds and we're trying to pick companies, that are obviously going to do really well over the long term. I think everybody would agree that once you go looking at environmental companies and companies that are trying to save the world, you're kind of, okay, not saying it's a no-brainer, but you're kind of looking at looking at really good.
Generally speaking, Paul, the wider question would be is why, if you're fortunate to have a few quid per month to put away, why invest it rather than save it?
Well, look,
Yeah,
the main
you
thing
said-
here is
you
interest
said
rates.
before that you-
Interest rates, say this all the time.
They're
So,
non-existent.
interest rates are non-existent. They're zero. You have inflation, which is literally eroding your money in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
So you need to invest. And like I said, over on our Instagram page, Ask Paul Now, we have the Ask Paul Investment Club, and we have a fund that's been going around since 1989. It's been given like an average of over 11% per year for the last 32 years. But this new ESG fund is coming in with that fund for our clients, so we can try and help
if
people make sure they're
someone-
making the right decision.
If the average person who's watching
Yeah.
the show has 20 or 50 quid a month that they put into the credit union
Yeah.
or the post office or the bank, your advice would be
100%.
invest it.
Yeah, invest it, especially if you don't need access to over 5 years. As you
Yeah.
mentioned, what's the kind of
Yeah.
ironclad it
Makes
is,
me
going
nervous,
up or
that
going down.
statement, though.
It
Yeah.
will go up and down, but you need to leave it for the very, very long term, so usually 5 years. But you look like a pension fund. Actually, one of the research out was saying, and you like this, Simon, just from a comment I seen yesterday in a group we're in about Man United. We won't mention it too much.
What's it?
But we're talking about vegetarian,
That's right,
and
we
people
were, yeah.
maybe not being too into it. But if you actually invest your pension in a green fund, you're 21 more times likely to reduce your carbon footprint than
Okay.
turning vegetarian or not flying.
Oh, right.
That's amazing if you can actually put your money to good use. So there you go, Simon. Don't become vegetarian, just invest in
Sage
pension.
advice, as always, Paulie.
Don't think you'll ever become vegetarian.
Good to see you, brother.
Lovely to
Likewise.
meet you. Yeah, that was
Likewise,
really
thank you.
interesting.
Oh,
Thanks
Lord.
very much. Okay.